All righty, Terry. Welcome back. They say that if it rains on your wedding day, that's good luck. If it rains out on your birthday, what does
Yeah.
that mean?
Oh, it means good luck because you didn't lose any money. And of course, I won the first race and collected a little bit of money on that race. So yeah, I mean, I thought it was, it's a shame they have to do that, but I think it's great. They didn't used to do that years ago in the 50s and 60s. It didn't matter what the weather was like; they ran no matter what.
Do you think maybe the people were a little hardier back then?
That could be, but I think it's more for the safety of the jockeys and the horses, and I
Mhm.
think it's a good thing that they do that they
Mhm.
really pay attention to the weather. You
Well,
know,
I know that last race, the horses were running all over it. Like, you
yeah,
remember those old Novas that would drive down the street sideways?
yeah, I do, and I noticed that on that last race. I said, "Geez, these horses they just can't keep their footing, and they don't know where they're going." And everybody was going back and forth, and
Mhm.
so of
There,
course
yes,
they
slip
just
sliding away, as they
that's
say,
right.
right? Slip sliding away. Well, you can slip on over to Guaranteed Tip Sheet for hopefully a nice sunny day. I mean, you can't name it Sunland Park and then it not be sunny, right?
Yeah, that's right. Can be dusty though. I was there one time, a long time ago, I think in the 70s, and this all these people started putting these hankies on, and I didn't know what they were doing because I'd never been there. And I looked to my left, and here comes this dust storm.
Mm-hmm.
And it went through, and then all of a sudden it disappeared. It was weird.
Yeah, well, there you go. Well, hopefully there's not a dust storm at Sunland Park today, but it is the free track and pass it around 5 to 2 at 2:25 p.m. Eastern is a best bet in that opener and that $10,000 maiden claiming. And the best way to make sure you get those picks is there's a link down in the description below. Kindly use that. Again, tomorrow, Keeneland opening day. Those picks should be up shortly. And then Saturday, the Toyota Bluegrass Stakes. There will be a wagering guide out. So you're going to want to get that. Use the link down in the description below. But before we get to Keeneland tomorrow, by the way, Tom and I will be doing Randwick tomorrow. But before Keeneland goes live and the Toyota Bluegrass goes live, Terry and Rich are live today at Gulfstream Park. Joyous to get out of the slop and mud. Terry, what are we going to do in the first race?
Yeah, that's going to be a 6 furlong race, and it's going to be a claiming race, $8,000 claiming price. Purse $23,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 2 races.
Yes, indeedy. And at the distance, the profile of a winner on the dirt track down there is Early Speed, 1/3 of which get the lead, keep the lead, and never give up the lead all the way into the winner's circle. There's a little bit of a rail bonus for Cooler King. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7, a little penalty. 8 and out. Boy, that's just not been the place to be. It's been horrible. That's not an issue in race number 1 because you see there's only 6 horses in the race with the 5-horse scratching. 10,000 simulations, Terry, to project speed figure. From there, we calculate out what we consider to be fair odds, looking for some overlays. Based upon those 10,000 simulations, how many times the horse ran a speed figure at or above par. So 30% for Norfire, and that speed figure there being 80 or more. And then we also want to see what the early part of the race is going to look like. We just mentioned 1/3 of the horses go wire to wire, so you want to know who's going to get the lead. And based upon our projections, how likely that horse is to have a race here today that fits in their comfort zone or C zone to match their best performances. Terry, sure looks like one of them is going to get out of the gates with a lot of giddy up and go to get us
Yeah,
going.
it does. That 7 shows lots of speed on that outside uh, post position, and then the 2 has a overlay from even money to 7 to 2, and the 2 and the 7 show the only 2 par plus numbers, and then all of them show some kind of a C zone, although the 4 is a little bit low.
Mm-hmm. Well, we have a green go horse here with 16 cigarettes. It only took about 1 or 2 for me to realize I didn't want to smoke cigarettes, Terry. I was about 10, 5th grade. Yeah, 10 years old, and all of us in Easton, Pennsylvania bought a pack of Marlboros
Oh,
without the filter, I think, right? Because that was the manly thing to do when you were 10. I think I took about 2 puffs and damn near choked to death and said, I think I've had enough for this. All right. Race number 1, looking at our trip handicapping. Really no horse that's dependent on the early lead. The 1, 2, 6, and 7, they prefer to pressure, but I would imagine one of them is probably going to get to the lead. Does look like 16 cigarettes, is about a length and a half quicker than everybody else. So should be able to clear that field, get to the front, Terry, and dictate the pace. So coming down the stretch to find their way to the winner's circle. Norfie is about a length and a quarter quicker than everybody else, but going to be kind of off the pace there. So this one is going to be a race between those that can get up front, those that can close, Terry. Your top three right here, well above the bottom three. Looks like maybe the 6 doesn't fit. Terry, you think the closer is going to get it done?
Yeah, I like Norfie. He has finished in the money in 5 out of 7 career races. Ran second versus similar in the last race. 7:16 Cigarettes is my second choice. Finished third versus Tougher in his last race. Drops in class today. Has the highest speed figure at today's highest last speed figure at today's field, and then has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. Cooler the King, the one has was only beaten a length and 3/4 versus similar on an all-weather track in his last start, and he has the highest last speed rating. He's actually tied with 16 Candles and our Cigarettes. And
I know that movie just screwing me up too.
It is, yeah. And the Real Post is winning at a 20% clip. And Smoking Bow or Bow, the 4, he loves running second at Gulfstream Park, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. The only thing I'm going to do here is our normal bets was $2 a win on our first choice, $1 exacta box on our first 2, 50-cent trifecta box on our first 3 picks, and a 10-cent superfecta box on our first 4 picks.
Indeed, yeah. Well, I'm going to go with that speedster, and it looks like the folks on the ground are in agreement with me because that one right now is your 3-2 favorite, so a little bit of an overlay. Looks like the 2 is the better bet right now because it's 1-1 in our simulation odds and right on the morning line odds. The one horse taking some action there too. Cooler King right now is your second choice. For me, that speed horse gets to the front, Terry. The 7 horse stays there after dropping in class today. Most consistent performer and should be more fit today than the last race with a workout in between starts. Norfie is the simulation favorite that we talked about. Looks like the best value right now, and also the best chances we talked about in our 10,000 simulations to hit par or better for this spot. Cooler King, which has been bet down to the second choice right now. I mean, this one probably has the most room to surprise. It's 11 races so far. Not one of them has been on dirt and has a good shot, as you can see here, to be close to the pace. So maybe gets to the lead, really takes to the surface and takes off. And then finally, the 4 horse Smoking Bow has hit par for this level probably more often than any other horse in this race. So if it can find any of that class and all the others don't quite live up, it could win this race too. So I think a little bit of an open start to the Thursday, the Terrific Theory Thursday at Gulfstream Park. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. All right, so are they closing in? Yeah, they're crossing over the gate right now, Terry. So maybe we might be close to starting on time right now. So we'll remind you that Sunland Park is the free track today at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. Again, there's a link down in the description below. Every day there's a free track, so make sure you check in the morning in case you're going to play that track, or today's your day to be at the track. Again, tomorrow, Tom and I for Randwick. That'll be 4 and Friday, probably around 4 p.m. Eastern, I think, is what we're shooting for right about now. Some good races down there. Tom and I have been on a 4 in Friday roll. We've been fired, so you're going to want to tune in for that. The best way to make sure you don't miss any of that, Terry, do what?
You need to go ahead and subscribe to YouTube if you haven't already, and hit the little bell so you're notified about all these different programs. Go down and copy the link below and share that with your family, friends, and everybody you know, workmates. And then give us likes and thumbs up there, and also on our social sites such as Facebook, TikTok, X, Threads, and Instagram. You give us a like or a thumbs up. That really helps us out and gives us more tools with the different Facebook. Different social
tech oligarchs. Yes.
Yes, whatever. Tongue-tied there.
Yeah, I know the T's got me all screwed up, and it's going to be tongue-tied Thursday with Terry and Rich. All right, so it looks like they're all lined up, but just about ready to go. Our good friend Peter Aiello about to make the call, and as they come out of the gate, it's a pretty good start for everybody, Terry. The one horse, the one that's taken to the dirt for the first time, indeed, did break to the lead. The 7, which we felt like probably needed to be up on the lead, but not really, because it's not really a speed horse in that respect, but it is a pressure horse. The 1 horse got the lead, but the 7's going to have a rough go of it if he can't clear these horses pretty quick, because he's going to be forced through the turn 3 wide. The 4 is backing out right now. I don't know what's his story. The 1 horse continues to toe the line in front of the 2 horse. 2 horses working already a little bit, so I think he's going to have a hard time catching the 1 horse jockey looking between his legs. I think you can either he thinks his horse is going to slow down and he wants to get out of the way, or he's got a lot of horse left and he just can't believe what kind of a lead he has here. 2 horse continues to set the tone. I mean, the 1 horse. The 2 horse is trying to make up ground with those late legs here at the end, Terry. I think he might get it done because the 1 horse is kind of wobbling a little bit. Here he comes. The 2 horses pulled up alongside. So it is going to go 2, and then 1, and then 7. So 2, 2, 1, 7, 3. 2, 1, 7, 3. We both got the trifecta. Terry opening up with the winner with the Norfire. That one actually going off, as we mentioned, folks, as the best value of the day at 9, and basically 1-1 were its odds. And the horse went up at 4-1. So good start there, and a good trifecta across the board there, Terry. I think the 1 horse, if it had finished 7 had got him, he would have got the exacta 2. So there we go, folks. Good way to start today in Florida. That's what happens when you get away from the mud, Terry.
That's right. There we go.
Race number 2.
Yep.
8 race card. What's this one all about?
Okay, well, this is a 6 furlong race, and it's a maiden optional claiming race. $50,000 claiming price if you elect to put your horse in there to be claimed, possibly. First, $48,000, and it's for maidens, 3-year-olds, Florida bred, or maiden claiming price of $5,000.
Yes, speed does matter, particularly on the inside. You saw that 2 horse break sharp along with the 1, and they hung in there. The 7 horse on the outside got caught wide, and that makes it difficult for the horse to clear, especially if there's some speed on the inside. A lot of horses making their first, second, third starts in here, Terry. So really, as far as the simulations are concerned, they're not useful, so we didn't do any. But we did take a look at those horses that do run for minor trip handicapping. The 8 horse, Embrace the Dream, that one has not been close. Otherwise, everybody else kind of filling out across the line there. Early speed, a lot of these races are done by early speed. 30-pound test and Entendre, those 2, well, along with Embrace the Dream and David's Song, even Ruby's Big Red, all within a pretty tight spacing of one another. So early speed should go to the 1 horse on the rail again. Does have, of the experienced horses, the most late speed. So this one might get to the front and be very difficult to run down at the end with a 12-point total pace advantage over the next closest horse of the experienced ones. Not quite sure what these 2, 6, and 9 will bring to the table, but Terry, I'm sure you're about to tell us.
Well, I like the 30-pound test. He finished 3rd versus Tupper in his last race. He only lost by a neck, and the rail post is winning at a 20% clip. The high percentage trainer he has wins 27% of the races in the second career race a horse has with him, and his best dirt speed is fast among today's starters. The 3 as my second choice has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 20% of the sprint races he has horses. And then 6, Wine Goggles. The 3rd choice is a first-time starter whose dam has 1 winner from 3 starters and has a high percentage winning jockey and trainer. David Song's my long shot, the 5. He has a high percentage winning trainer who wins 18% of the races in sprints. And then I'm going to play 50-cent pick 4 for Don Johnson, 1-6 with a 2-4-6 with a 2-4-6-7 with a 2-8-9. That's a $36 cost.
Did you mean to leave the 3 out there, but you're going to put the 6 in over the 3? Just kind of curious about that. You have the 3 as your second pick, but the 6 is your 3rd pick.
Oh, yeah. I actually did. I'll have to change that.
All right. Well, I can change it right now. I'm just curious because sometimes I'll do that because if I think the 1 horse in this case is if I feel like the 1 is just a lock, then I'm going to I might go down in my picks a little bit for the longest shot that I think has a chance to win because that would give a bigger payout. So Terry, you're going to go 1-3. I think the 1 horse is probably the one to beat here too, Terry. any improvement from its debut, and it wins a lot. But again, so horses that are making their first, second, third start, so you're just not quite sure what they're going to do from race to race just yet. The 4-horse Ruby's Big Red, this one's coming in from a maiden special weight race at Tampa Bay Downs. So that is your maiden special weight dropper, and does have a string of really good workouts between races. And it's also a horse where the second start in its career could lead to a lot of improvement. Number 8, Embrace the Dream, Mr. Terry, another maiden special weight dropper that was well bet as a 2-year-old. Now, remember, we've talked about this a bit recently, where 2-year-olds are not allowed to get Lasix. So when they run, and then they run one race and they head to the sidelines, it's almost always, at least I read that as the horse bled. They train the horse, they can't stop it from bleeding, so they give it Lasix. That stops the bleeding as a 3-year-old. That's what you're going to see in. And also interesting that this is maiden optional claiming, dropping from maiden special weight, and they must think the horse has some ability because it's not in for a price. Number 6, Wine Goggles. I guess that's the girls' version of beer goggles, right?
Yeah.
They drink too much wine and all of a sudden 6s are 10s, but all right. Wine Goggles, Safi Joseph Jr. making first start 18% of the time with winners. The breeding is okay, and the works are okay. If either the breeding or the works would have been better, I might have upgraded this one. I'm going to do a pick 4, 1, 4, and 8, 2, 6, 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 5, 6, 7, 10. I think that's the max, $48, because we have a $50 limit on our pick 4s. $10 less than the folks on TVG, because we think we need $10 less to do just as well, maybe better. Race number 3, I was going to say, I've told them you should hire Terry and I, and so far they've said no. So maybe everybody who watches, get on Twitter and just start like spam tweeting them. Put Terry and Rich on. Put Terry and Rich on. We would greatly appreciate it. All right, we're going to do something a little bit different here, Terry, but it's important to pay attention to this race because the 2 turf races today are off the turf, and they're all going to be run at this distance.
Yeah, it's 1 mile and 70 yards on an all-weather track. It's a claiming race, $16,000 claiming price. The first $28,000 for 3-year-olds and upwards, which have never won 2 races.
Yes, and at the 1 mile and 70 yards, the $170 on the Tapita. You're looking for stalkers, though. Emmitt Smith, the best running back ever, 22% go wire to wire. There is very much an inside to outside bias. If you get to 8 or out, your trip to the winner's circle becomes increasingly more difficult. Fortunately, there are a couple of scratches in here, so we're down to a 6-horse field, so nobody gets to wear that anchor of the outside post, Terry. Who's got all the speed here?
The 2, look at that. It has a lot of speed, although most of these horses show some kind of speed. And the 2 also has an overlay from 2 to 1 to 5 to 1. That's the only real overlay I see. And then all of the horses have some kind of C-zone numbers, with the 2 having the lowest.
Yes, indeed. And then as far as our pace setup is concerned, everybody wants to close, Terry. The 2 horse has been the pressure horse. Today, he's not going to be the pressure horse. Basketball Jones is going to fast break ahead of everybody else. He's got a 10-point early pace advantage over Las Olas. That one should be able to get to the lead, Terry. Basketball Jones. Do so comfortably. I'm sure all the other folks, though, reading the program with horses in the race see that. So somebody will probably send with the 2, hoping that they both go out in reasonable fractions. The end of the race, it does look like this dude's a breeze. Is a little bit quicker than Basketball Jones, but really not a whole lot quicker. Right in that mix will be Forwardly, too. Your top total pace horse in here is Basketball Jones. 10 points clear of this dude's a breeze. And then that one's 6 points clear of Forwardly, Terry. So maybe just go 2, 4, 6 for $1. Ice cold trifecta, Terry. What do you think?
I like the 6 Forwardly. He drops in class today, has the highest speed figure rate in the last race. And he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Basketball Jones, the 2, is my second choice. Ran second versus similar in his last race and can improve at the shorter distance. This dude's a breeze. The 4 is my third choice. Drops in class today. Has a high percentage winning trainer. And the 1 is my long shot. Ran second versus similar on the turf in his last race. No other bets but the normal ones for me in this race.
So in this race, Terry, I'm going to go with the 2-horse Basketball Jones. Has that 10-point total pace advantage over the rest of the field. I think it's going to get to the front. It's got as much late pace as everybody else. As long as the fractions are reasonable, this one adds to the 22% wire to wire. Forwardly, the 6-horse, Terry, I think this one is likely to be the favorite. Going to take on a lot of money. It's a Chad Brown horse. Everybody knows Chad Brown that follows horse racing even a little bit, one of the top trainers in the country. But you have to worry, not worry so much, but wonder about trainer intent, right? Chad Brown's barn is filled with good horses. So this horse is going from a claiming 35,000. They're basically dropping that price in half, claiming 16,000, non-winners of 2. I think they're trying to sell this horse, Terry. That's my opinion, right? They want it out of the barn because it doesn't fit in to the Chad Brown type thing. So fire sale on Forwardly, Terry. That's why I downgraded a little bit, but it is the lowest level of its career by a lot. 3 decent workouts since the last outing, and I think it will be bought. Number 4, this dude's a breeze. Most of his last 4 all-weather races would be good enough to beat most, if not all of the horses in this race. And then finally, number 8, Red's Revenge. This one's coming off a very long break, Terry, but the works prepping for today are the best of his published workouts. Maybe the lights came on, or maybe the horse is finally healthy, and you're going to see the best out of Red's Revenge today. 2, 6, 4, and 8. I just went all the even number horses, Terry. Sometimes that's probably the best batting strategy, right? Just some random thought, especially when you're cold and you want to break a cold streak. Just do something unusual, and sometimes that can help you get out of the funk, right?
That's right.
All right, the 2 middle races are races 4 and 5. We go back to 1 mile on the dirt track, which is a 1-turn mile, acting more like a sprint than a route. Terry, what are they going to do here?
Well, like you say, it's a mile, and it's a maiden race, $60,000 purse, and it's for maidens, fillies, and mares, 3-year-olds and upward.
Indeed. And then at a mile, as I mentioned, it is more like a sprint because there's only 1 turn than a route. What we're looking for is speed on that Florida dirt there, Terry. 30% of the time, whoever has the lead at the quarter-mile marker still has the lead when they're taking the photo in the winner's circle. 1, 2, and 3, those post positions play fair. 4 and 7, 4, 5, 6, and 7, small discount. 8 and out, a bigger discount. So the moral of that story is the closer you are to the rail, the more advantageous your post position. Again, Terry, inside speed could get the job done here. And looks like, again, another real fast one inside.
That's right. All of them show some kind of speed, but that 2 shows the most speed, followed up by the 5 and then the 4. The 2 also has the overlay from about, 1 to 5,
maybe, yeah.
To 5 to 2. The 2 and the 7 show the only par plus numbers, and all but the 1 shows some kind of a C zone.
Yeah, but interestingly, again, a lot of horses in here, as we'll see in our trip view. A couple of them making the first start. The 1 and 5, so far they've not been within a handful of lengths of the winner at the finish line. The 7 has been a pressure horse. The 2 horse so far has shown a little bit of versatility. Can get forward, maybe come from a little bit off the pace, but 3 horse are closer. They're all looking for their first win. Lightly raced horses. What we've seen so far tells us that Reliable Lady is the one that's likely to get to the lead. The 1 horse to its inside, about a length and a half slower when the gates open, but maybe improves today. Looks like the 2 does get the lead. The 2 does get the lead, also has the most late pace of the experienced horses. We don't know what Gio Ioso and Dreaming of Katie will bring to the table. Of the experienced horses, Reliable Lady is the one that scores out the top in total pace. Terry, how do you break this one down with seemingly 1 experienced horse versus maybe 2 first-timers that have a shot to run it down?
Well, I'm going with a first-timer in the top picks, number 6, Dreaming of Katie. She's a first-time starter whose dam has 5 winners from 7 starters, and 3 of those were stakes winners. and it has a high percentage winning trainer. And then I like the 4, another first-time starter whose dam has 2 winners from 2 starters, has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. Then I'm going to go with that 2, Reliable Lady, as my third choice. Drops a class today, has a high percentage winning trainer, and this trainer wins 17% of the dirt races he has a horse that competes in. And then the 7 is my long shot, finished third versus similar in her last race, and her best dirt speed is fast as among today's starters, and she has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm just going to have the normal bets in this race.
Yeah, normal being $2 to win on the top pick, $1 exact the box for the top 2, 50-cent try for the top 3, and then 10-cent superfecta box for all 4. I'm going to go with the horse that has some experience here, Terry. Reliable Lady. Tough start in its debut. It stumbled at the start, so gave up a little bit at the beginning, but still was only 1 point shy of hitting par for this level. Minus that, the horse does probably run par or even better. Does have a workout in between races, and I think any second race improvement could make it difficult for the first-timers to get to that one. Dreaming of Kate's going to be a big favorite, right? 7-5 morning line right now as a first-time starter. This is a Todd Pletcher horse, obviously. Pletcher, well-known trainer in here, really does have some strong breeding and strong works for the first start in its career. It probably does live up to those odds, but you never know. Horses making their first start, sometimes they can be a little shy. Number 7, Divine. In 3 races, has been well bet in every single one of them. Ran par, so can't compete at this level in her last. But one of the most important factors differentiating Divine from all of the other horses in this field is she is the only 4-year-old, and everybody else is 3. And if you think about it, they all turned 3 or 4 in January. So earlier in the year, the age advantage is a bigger advantage than it is at the end of the year. Gio Ioso, I probably screwed that one up. It's another first-time starter running out there for Christophe Clement. He wins at 17% first time around the track with a newbie. Mama makes winners, but not as strongly as the 6-horse makes winners. And the other first-timer, the 6, Dreaming of Katie, also had better workouts. So that's why I put the 4th in there, Mr. Terry. Nice, like you said, just normal bets for me as well. Race 5 begins the second half of the Gulfstream card today. What are the race conditions? That's the wrong one. I'm getting ready for Keeneland, the wagering guide. Still have all my markings and stuff up there. Again, that wagering guide will be ready tomorrow. So you'll find that at Guaranteed Tip Sheet along with today's Sunland Park free picks down in the description below. Terry, this one was supposed to be on the turf, but it's not.
Nope, that's true. It's been moved off the turf. It's an optional claiming race, $35,000. It's a 1-mile race, and it will be run on the Topeka course at 1 mile and 70 yards. The purse is $44,000. It's for 3-year-olds, which have started for a claiming price of $35,000 or less, and which have never won a race other than a maiden or claiming price of $35,000.
So at 1 mile and 70, $1.70 on the synthetic. Again, you're looking for stalkers. You want to be forwardly placed. I mean, if you're in the back, it doesn't absolutely destroy your chances. 22% of the time, you have the best chance to win if you're on the lead. Post position, again, we're looking at an inside to outside advantage. If you have an 8 or out, it's really tough to win out there. With 3 scratches, there is an 8-horse in this. That's Kate Crown, the 10-horse in here. Terry, speed does make a difference. Tactical speed's probably the best way to go, and a lot of them appear to have some speed or tactical speed, depending on if they get the lead or not.
That's right. There's several of these that have speeds. That 8 and the 9, they'll have the most speed. They could go head-to-head to that quarter pole. The 2 shows an overlay from about 2-1 to 9-2, and that's about the only overlay I really see there. Mm-hmm. And then the 2 is the only par plus number that's there. And then all of these horses have some kind of a C zone, although the 10's pretty low.
Mm-hmm. This could be a race where, positioning makes a big difference. Half the field wants to be 5 out of the 8, actually, so 62.5%. Want to be forward or middle, and the other 3 here want to close. So tactical speed, probably good positioning. Sakaiku, I have no idea. Abario, that one is a little bit quicker than Silent and Violent. Those are the two we thought would be on the lead according to our simulation. But you see here, Terry, a lot of folks with a chance to really press for that lead. You might give the two inside horses a little bit of an edge over the outside horses, make them work a touch. Tactical speed, so that means closing ability, could be huge in this race. Echo Lane, K Crown, don't be so grouchy, Terry. But minus the one horse, Mi Dinero, My Money. Everybody else does have some late speed too. This race really looks like it's very competitive. We see that here in our total pace numbers as they just kind of tick, 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 tick down from the first to the worst. So I would say, probably down to here. A misstep, a wide trip, any of that could be the difference between winning and maybe finishing completely out of the money. Totally open race, Terry. We agree on the first one and the last one, but nothing in the middle.
Yeah, that's true. I like that too. Echo Lane. He finished third versus on all weather in his last race and has a high percentage winning trainer and a nice bullet workout on March 29th. And then I like that 8 horse. He finished third versus similar on an all weather track in his last race and has the best turf speed, although it doesn't really matter here. And then number 9, Silent and Violent. Yeah. He won his last race at Gulfstream Park, has the high percentage winning jockey, Paco Lopez. He's the 9 horse. And
Paco.
The 6 horse is Darth. He won his last race at Gulfstream and has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to play a 50-cent pick 4. I'm going to use the 2-8 with the 3-4, with the 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9, with the 2, 3, 4, and that's a $42 ticket.
I think the 2 horse, Terry 2, is the one to beat in here today. Echo Lane, top last race speed figure, 4 points ahead of everybody else. Dropping in class today, 2 strong workouts between races. It's the one to beat on paper. K Crown, I know, pretty terrible post position out there where the 8 where they don't won. But last race out, it just won on the all-weather at the same exact conditions, same exact distance, same exact surface. And all-weather appears to be this horse's favorite track. Ran on it 3 times and collected 2 Ws. I mean, it just repeats last race. Wash, rinse, repeat, like a haircut or washing your hair. Ike's Gamble, the 5 horse, was the betting favorite versus many of these horses last out. This horse weakened at the end of its race. Does have 2 workouts since then, so I don't think this horse will tire as badly at the end. I think he'll be more fit and might live up to being the favorite against many of these last out. Finally, number 6, Darth, ends up on my pick list as the 4th as well. Maybe this one has the most hidden potential with just 3 races. Came to life in his last, though it was a tough call for me over the 8 horse. I'm going to do a pick 4 here, 2, 5, 10 with the 3, 6, the 5, 6, 7, 9, 1, 2, 4, 8. Again, $48. I'm going to do a $3 trifecta. I probably overspent by a little bit of money.
80 cents.
80 cents. Mark that down to $2.50, if you will. I'm going to go 2, 5, 10 over to 210, over to 2, 5, 6, 8, and 10 from all of my remaining budget.
Hey, we both went over 80 cents, so let's just leave it.
Okay, we'll call it bygones be bygones.
Yeah.
Or bet overbets be overbets. Race number 6, as we have 3 races to go in. Again, I'm going over to Keeneland. Race number 6 in this 8-race card. Terry, I think this is the marquee race of the day.
Yeah, it is. It's a 6 furlong. It's an optional claiming race, and it's $62,500 claiming price. So if you want to put your horse in to possibly be claimed, you can, just like the one did, Cousin Christie. She's in there she's in there to be claimed if possible. The purse is $62,000, and it's for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward, which have never won $12,000 twice, other than maiden, claiming, starter, or restricted, or which have never won 3 races, or which have not won a race since October 4th, 2023, or a claiming price of $62,500. Lots of conditions.
Yes, indeed. So they're trying to open it up to find some horses in here to get some extra money. You see here the par speed figure being 90. 6 furlongs, you got to be fast, Terry. We saw that in the opener. Get to the lead, stay on the lead. You got a great chance to win. In fact, 1/3 of the horses get to the lead, stay on the lead. A rail bonus for Cousin Christie. 2 and 3 play fair. 4 through 7 a penalty. 8 and out again is bad. Inside Speed for the marquee race of the day is indeed the way to the winner's circle, Terry. And my mouse is just really being funny. I got to turn it off and on. All right, Terry, who's got the giddy up and go here?
Well, the 1, 3, and 5 shows a similar speed, although the one has a little bit more than the rest. But who knows? Just depends on the break, I think, on who's going to get to that quarter pole. The one has an overlay from. No, I'm not. The one does not. I'm sorry about that. The 2 has an overlay from 6, almost 7 to 1 to 20 to 1, and the 3 has an overlay from 4 to 5 to about 8 to 5. And then the 3 and the 6 show the best or the only par numbers. And then all of them show kind of C-zone numbers. So
except for the 2. Yes, the overlay not in that case. Well, pretty aggressive race today, Terry. You have a perfectly balanced 3 forward, 3 middle back. There goes my stupid mouse again. I don't know what the hell's going on with this thing, but maybe it needs a new battery. I'm not sure. Early Speed, and it shouldn't because I just put one in there. So I think there's just something wrong with the mouse. The rail horse, Cousin Christie, about a length quicker than Music City Star. So the one horse is the one that's probably going to set the tone. 1/3 of a chance to go wire to wire there. So if you get odds on that one of like 7 to 2 or higher, maybe you think about that one as a value bet just from a running style track bias. Trifarios has the most late speed along with Love Appeals. Both of those two should sit right behind the early pace. Those two also have the most total pace, well above 5 points above Starship, Nala, and Cousin Christie. So maybe you build a trifecta like this. 3-6 over to 3-6, or maybe superfecta. 3-6 over to 3-6, over to 2-1, over to 2-1. There you go. Cheap superfecta, Terry. How do you think they're going to run?
Well, I've got to take my pick of the day, number 3, DeFarizos, and he's finished in the money in 8 out of 8 career races, so he really is competitive, winning 4 of those races. And the shorter distance will help as he's won 4 out of 5 starts at today's distance. The 4 is my second choice. He drops in class today. The distance may be a little bit short for him, and he has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. The 6, Love Appeals, is my third choice. He finished 3rd versus Tougher on turf in his last race. Drops in class today and has a bullet workout on March 28th. The 5 is my long shot, Music City Star. Drops in class today, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and his best start speed is fastest among today's starters. I'm going to bet $20 to win on the 3, and then I'm going to bet a $2 double 3 with the 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9.
I think the 3 horse, the one to beat 2 in here, Trifarios, top last race speed, figure 4 points, better than everybody else, and very likely to up that in the second start after a layoff, especially since it has 3 workouts for the 3 in between. Love Appeals, the 6 horse, dropping in from a 3 consecutive non-graded stakes races in a row. The works are outstanding, preparing for its first race since October. Number 4, Immonoria. This one, no question, been facing the toughest competition of this crew, down from a grade 3 last out. This one has run well off the bench, but no wins, I think, in 4 times. The closest it's come to winning off the sidelines is second by a nose. So next time out for that 4-1. Or today, I just messed it up and won. Cousin Christie, this one might just have a little too much early speed, Terry. If she can get to the lead on comfortable fractions at a distance where 33% of the horses go wire to wire, is a candidate to upset this field at a big price. If you're looking for a long shot with a reason to win, Cousin Christie on the wire-to-wire effort. No bets for me in here, Mr. Terry. Race number 2, about to get cooking. Our good friend, Christopher D'Souza, with some thoughts for race 2. He thinks the 3 horse is the winner here. Win in place with the 8 and the 1. Race number 6, he likes the 2. Pick of the day, $10 to win on the number 2, Terry. Who won yesterday's pick of the day contest? Race 6, 20 to win on the 5.
Well, they canceled the day.
Yes, I forgot.
So does he like the 2 or does he like the 5?
Well, 2 different races. Race 6
and race 6.
Oh, pick of the day, yeah, and then race number 6. So pick of the day is in your race, Terry, of course, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So you guys, it's the ongoing battle between Terry and Christopher D'Souza. Right now, Terry has the one race advantage. Christopher looking to tie things up today. Let's see what's going to happen in race number 2 here, Terry. And these bunch of first-time starters, you do have the one horse right now as your prohibitive favorite at 2-5. So from a pick 4 standpoint, they both want something else to win, and the one horse just got a crappy break. So there you go, chance for it to win. The 5 horse has moved to the lead. And he's really kind of aggressively getting out there. So who else is coming along with that 5 horse there, Mr. Terry? Looks like you got the 6 and the 8 making their way forward. One horse is going to be stuck behind traffic. And here they come as an opening, coming around the corner right now. 5 horse has a pretty reliable lead right there, Terry. Looks like he's got a good shot to win. The 1 horse now is finding his groove. He's going to be coming aggressively along with the 3 horse there. None of the first timers really firing, although the 8 horse does look like it wants to engage right now. But jockey's really working that one hard, Mr. Terry. It looks to me like this should be the 3 horses race to win, but the 5 horse is just maintaining its lead right now.
I'm hoping the 3 wins.
Yeah, I think he might get there. It looks like he's going to get there. Yeah, and you're welcome, Mr. Terry.
Thank you.
Yes, because otherwise it would have been the 6 horse. So the 3 horse is indeed Entendre, your winner. 3, 5, 1, and then 2, 8, and 6. So none of the first timers showing anything. Rich knocked out of his pick 4. Terry's in his pick 4. And, well, let's see if things can continue. And I think that was Christopher D'Souza's pick right there, too, right? Race number 2. No, he liked the 2 and the 5.
No,
that's the wrong race. Here
he liked
the 3 to win in place with the 8 and the 1.
Yeah, you like the 3, yeah.
But that 5 horse splitting the difference right there. All right. Let's go off to race number, 7?
I think that's it. Yep.
Yes, race number 7. Let's do race number 7, Mr. Terry.
Okay.
I keep going to the wrong one. All right, what do we got here?
Mile and 70 yards, all-weather track, optional claiming race, $16,000 claiming price, purse $33,000, and it's for 3-year-olds which have started for a claiming price of $16,000 or less, or which have never won a race other than maiden or claiming price of $16,000.
And at a mile and 70 yards, again, you're looking for stalkers. 22% of the time they go wire to wire. Inside is better than outside, Terry. So do we have any inside speed here? But plenty of horses with some opportunity to take the lead.
Yeah, a lot of them show speed, but the 7 shows a lot more speed than the rest. So he just might get that quarter pole first. And that 2 has an overlay from almost, 8.5 to 1 to 30 to 1. The 5 has an overlay from almost 2 to 1 to 7 to 2. And the 9 has an overlay from 5.5 to 1 to 10 to 1. The 6 and the 5 are the only 2 that have par plus numbers. And all of them show some kind of C zones, although the 7 is pretty low.
That's indeed. 2 more times for our trip handicapping. 3 and 6 on the lead. Everybody middle back. Maybe you can add to that 22% if someone gets to the lead here. And Heathcliff looks like it should get a little bit of lead, although a little bit of speed to its inside too between Go G and Ice the Kicker. So might have to work a little bit. The late speed belongs to Magic Shadow along with Ice the Kicker. So Ice the Kicker showing up twice. The Honeymoon right in there as well. Your top total pace horse in here, Terry, is Ice the Kicker. A couple points better than Magic Shadow. There's a big drop-off after that, Terry. Looks like the 7 horse Heathcliff is going to have to find some new late legs to be a competitive winner here, according to total pace. And you have that one as your top pick.
I do. I like the 7 Heathcliff. He won his last race at Gulfstream Park, has a best prime power number in the field here of 116.5. And then the 6 is my second choice, Ice the Kicker, finished 3rd versus Simmer in his last race at Gulfstream Park. Has a high percentage winning trainer, and this trainer wins 26% of the races in the first race after claiming a horse. The Honeyman, the 5 is my 3rd choice, ran 2nd versus Simmer in his last race. And then 3, Go G, is my long shot. He won his last race at Gulfstream Park and has a high percentage winning trainer. I'm going to bet $1 daily double. I'm going to use the 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 9 with the 2.
All right. And as for me, Terry, I'm going to go with the 9 horse in here. This one, last time out, man, my mouse. I can keep looking to see if I can find my batteries over there, but I don't see them anywhere. Long story about that. Maybe we'll get into someday why my batteries are never around. But in any case, I'm going to go with the 9 horse. Magic Shadow beat the morning line favorite in here, Ice the Kicker, when they met on February the 1st. Been off since then and does have a couple of good workouts. Ice the Kicker is the only horse in here to find par for this level. Small drop in class, also a pair of workouts to keep the saw sharp. Heathcliff, 3 works between races, and the one on March 23rd is the best, perhaps one of the best. I think there's only one other one back there that was as good in the workout line. But interestingly, the horse had a great race, a great workout, and it followed it up with a poor race. So kind of concerned me a little bit. But the 3rd race after layoff is an additional plus. The Honeyman, small drop in class, Terry. It is the simulation favorite in here as well, and just missed last time out. Last race of the day for you and me, last race of the week for you and me, before we return next week for Parks again. Hopefully the sun comes out, a little bit of Annie out in the East Coast there, because I know it's been raining like crazy. So the sun will come out tomorrow. Again, supposed to be 7.5 furlongs on the turf, but they've changed it to something we'll see a couple times today.
That's right. It's going to be run on the Tapeta course at 1 mile and 70 yards. And it's for 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and upward, which have never won 3 races or which have not won a race since October 4th, 2023.
Mm-hmm. And at the 1 mile and 70 yards on the synthetic, tactical speed does good 22% of the time. It does wire-to-wire action. We find, again, inside's better than outside. Terry, so for the last time this week, where can we find the speed?
All right. We're going to look for the speed on the 1, 2, and 3. They all have pretty similar speeds, very close to one another. So you just don't know. It's anybody's guess who's going to get out of there and get that to that quarter pole. And that 4 has a small overlay of just about 4-1 to 5-1. The 2, 4, and 3 are the best, are the only par plus numbers. And then all of them but the 1 has really decent C-zone numbers. The 1's pretty low.
Yes, and other you, Johnny, borderline green go horse, green, light green, but a little bit of an overlay. So 3-1 looks like a little bit fairer odds. Our last view of the week on horses and their running styles, where they've done their best, as I flip my mouse back on. I have to find a battery so I can get my work done today. But the last time around, again, 3 forward, 3 back. So it's a race that everyone should be where they want to be. The 8-horse Treasure King could be a lone E-horse. Look out. If they get to the lead, their confidence grows, but should have plenty of pressure to its inside, so it might have to work a bit. Smart Striker, the soccer horse, is the closer of the closer, although Jerry's Turn, the 3-horse, the EP type, has a lot of late legs in there too, so look out for that one. If you just look at the numbers here, you got 3 points from top to bottom, Terry. This one is anybody's race. Again, one of those races that's wide open, and we found the same one on top.
I like the number 2. Alley Oop Johnny. He likes park racing. He's been in the money 71% of the time that he's ran here, and he's won 43% of those starts. The distance won't be a problem as he finished in the money 57% of the time at today's distance, winning 27% of those starts. That may not be true because now we've got a different distance. But anyway, 4 Sigram Fast Boy. He drops in class today and has a high percentage winning trainer. My second choice. Jerry's Turn to 3 is my third choice. He won the race before his last race at Gulfstream Park and has a high percentage winning trainer. Number 8, Treasure King is my long shot. Drops in class today and switches to high percentage winning jockey, which is Paco Lopez. Okay. That's all the bets for me today.
I have the final race of the week. Alley Oop Johnny, better with all of its race internals. Top last race speed figure, +4, with the 7-horse scratched out of this race, though the horse is shaky on an all-weather surface. Number 8, Treasure King. All of its best races, unlike the 2-horse, have been on the all-weather track. Number 1, the Great Odds. The Great Odds, when you pull the curtain back, might not be a whole lot there, but when we pull the curtain back on his past performances, it is the most consistent performer in this field and maybe has the most back class. And you get a good price on that one. Sig Run Fast Boy, the 4-horse, a chance to really up his game in the second start after a layoff. Last time out, showed some improved early pace, almost always a sign of a horse that's coming to form. 2, 8, 1, and 4 close out the week. Again, remember that Tom and I will be back tomorrow, probably around 4 p.m. Easternish for our Foreign Friday at Randwick. Those races will run a little bit of late night, early morning races between Friday and Saturday. They're always fun. You never think you're going to be up, but you always are. So you might as well take a look at some of the Australian races where the horses and the people hang by their feet and run upside down. I don't know how they do that, but they do. And maybe because of that, the handicapping's a little better. I don't know. That wraps it up for you and me today, Terry. Again, don't forget, free picks today over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet for Sunland Park. There's a link in the description down below. Make sure if you're going to do some Keeneland action on the weekend, head on over there again. Wagering guide on Saturday for the Toyota Bluegrass Stakes. One point of note about the Toyota Bluegrass Stakes is it doesn't really produce many horses that win the Kentucky Derby. They qualify. Most of those winners come from either the Florida Derby and what we saw from Fierceness last week. It's going to take something special to beat that one, although that one does kind of have a like light switch performances on the track, either really good or really bad. But I think that one's going to be your favorite for the Kentucky Derby. Terry, any final thoughts before you and I get out of here and get back together next Monday for Parks?
Yeah, I want to thank you for looking at and fixing my mistake in that second race so that I'll start my pick 4. Other than that, I just hope everybody does all right with this weather. We got a lot of rain going on here too. So, and I saw there was some really nasty weather through the east and even up in your way.
Yeah, it's just been raining. Yeah. Now today's kind of raining and snowy, but it all goes away. I think spring arrives on Monday. Going to be in the 60s around here, and as far as the calendar goes out, AC 50s and 60s. So this should hopefully be, fingers crossed, the end of the who is it? What's the guy from the you remember the old Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the abominable snowman, or whichever one was like the scary winter person?
Yeah, or the Yeti or something like that. So
yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Well, everybody take it easy. Be careful. Have a great rest of the week and a nice weekend. And give your loved ones a hug in that. All right. And I'll see you Monday.
All right. Well, between here and Monday, no matter what it is you're doing, whether you're going to go to Australia where they hang by their feet. Don't know how they do it. Going to join us for the Toyota Bluegrass Stakes, or you're just going to make it a chill weekend, get some stuff done around the house, some spring cleaning so you can spend the good weather outside this summer. We certainly hope you have God's grace, God's favor, and everything that you do ends up in
the winner's circle.
Indeed. See you later and have a great weekend.